Yo, yo, yo. I didn't know if I was going to do a review, another one, because I kind of finished all mine, but I decided I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do, hello, my name is Wesley. Chizai, you already know who it is, but I'm going to be reviewing Alex Rider, The Story of an Assassin. Shout out Anthony Horowitz. He's one of my favorite writers by far. He made like two really good series, a Gatekeeper series about like basically these powerful kids who are stopping they're all like have this great gift, and it's like these special kind of like you need five of these super powered, like kind of superhero esque, mystical powered beings who are fighting basically this organized global thing of kind of superpowered evil people basically who are trying to open a portal and kind of world domination. But it was just done so well. It was such a cool YA, very like not Maze Runner esque, but it just has a good a large roster of kids, and it's like very cool. To have everyone's different personalities, and as a kid, I was like, man, I could be part of this superpower group. I really loved it so much. Shout out Anthony Horowitz. I know you're like 70, but or well, it doesn't matter that you're 70, but definitely one of my favorite writers of all time. Because these are the books I read as a kid, and I'm fond of those memories. And I was like, yo, I come to do too serious. I need to do more childhood movies or like more childhood like stuff. So I might try to do that. We're gonna be like doing a young adult run basically of a bunch of stuff, maybe down or maybe going forward just for a little bit because I've been doing all serious adult movies, and I need to have fun. Um, but Yasan Gogorovich was such a cool, like, bad apple character. You have Alex Rider, the story of assassin, and it's Yasan Gorganovich story. It's the story about the assassin who killed Alex Rider's dad, and Alex Rider basically is this series by Anthony Horowitz where it's basically a super spy who was secretly trained by his uncle, and then the MI6, the British CIA, is like strong arms him into being a spy, and he has all these spy missions, and it's very James Bondy, but a kid, so it's fun and enjoyable and not serious, and you know high tension. Or yeah, but it's fun. I really liked it. I like spies, everything, all the time. I just like really like spy stuff. It's fun to me to be so like social and so skilled and like do things for the government. I don't know. It's honorable, but it's fun and it's intriguing and it's cool and it's suave. Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's so basically yeah, and then he worked for Scorpion. But it's basically the stories of his like rags to riches story. And there's a what is it? So there's an Alex Rider TV show with Amazon, and it's good, but it's not the way I remember it. I remember like even when they did Percy Jackson, when they did the new Percy Jackson, that is really good, right? But when they did the first Percy Jackson, a lot of people were like, "This isn't as good as remember it," because they imagined it as more the reboot Percy Jackson. That was more childish in a good way, where it's just like these are kids, let them be kids. This is like whereas they made it as like you're like a college kid doing like serious stuff, and this is like too cartoony. Where they made it realistic but childish for the teenage kids, young adults, and it's fun, you know and it's supposed to be like that camaraderie of being a youth and that pressure of not having to worry about anything. But now you have all these powers and things like that, and everybody wants to have powers. Everybody wants to be greater than just the humanness. And I think Alex Rider did that for me as a book. But just this book by which is like the origin story of Yasin Gurganovich, to me is just memorable, and I saw it and I was like, this is so fun because it's like even though it's talking about the story of an assassin, I think it's just very interesting and fun to me because it was like about like you need a good villain, and they made and Anthony Horowitz. You made a good villain in Yasin Gurganovich. You have Alex Rider, but you have this villain who's kind of this not anti-hero, but he's like just kind of a not maternal, but just kind of like this parental kind of way he looks at Alex Rider. Even though he killed his dad, even though he's killed his uncle, who's basically like raised him as his dad, there's still this bond that they share. And I think that is very cool. How it's just like a gray area where like you have this super assassin, amazing assassin for this super bad corporation of the Scorpia, and then you have like them wanting to like absolutely kill this kid basically, but he just kind of sees himself in Alex Rider, and this is like the origin story of like how he came from nothing to something. And I think it's just such a good story by of Yasin Gorgonovic's story. It humanizes him, but also shows you like his desperation and it is his drive and like how he kind of just like fumbled his way and just this was nothing. You know, at times he was a slave, at times he was like literally like a beggar person, and then he rose up, you know, and became this like professional murderer basically. But it's just well told. It's very fun to know the behind the scenes of how the spy is thinking and all these things like that. And I really like that. Like that's why my favorite television show is Burn Notice because it gets you in the mind of the character and they're telling you their thought process. And it's very interesting to know a professional spy what they're thinking, how they're operating. But in this case, professional assassin, how they're like how they're operating. You know, it's a cool lens into a world that I would never do. That's obviously bad in real life, but it's just very interesting and very fun. I thought feel like it was very cool to know Yasan Gorgonovic's story and just how he's like going through all these trials and errors and learning all these different things about like how to become an assassin. You're like, yo, you know, and like how he like just keeps learning, you know, and then he grows into this like big bad villain, you know, and I feel like so many like Marvel is known for this, where they have so many bad villains, so many villains that are like really, you know, and they didn't have that. They had really good villains, and Yasan Gorgonovich, especially when I was like in my like my teens, basically, and I started going to the library and reading books, um, and because my brother and my other friend, they kind of rubbed off on me, and I was kind of a bad kid, kind of like and like you know, I just hung out with kind of the bad crowd or kind of a bad crowd, but I learned to kind of just hang out with the nerds, you know, and the nerds turned out to be really really awesome and really fun, and that there's so much more imagination excitement world fanciful dreaming and daydreaming to be done when you're not trying to be, I don't know, lashing out at your life or just doing anything like um you know, kind of just trying to look up to bad people or trying to have this kind of just like play out this like I want to be like the rebel of this thing, you know. It's just like I want to just discover myself and be cool with who I am and be around people who understand me and care about me. And I want to imagine a world of thousand worlds that are interesting and fun. And I want to have fun and enjoy things and dream, you know, and aspire to be something or some things and absolutely, Anthony Horowitz. He did that for me with this book and the Power the Gatekeeper series and the Alex Rider series, and just being a young adult and I don't know. Books kind of saved my life for sure. The library is something I'm always going to be grateful for and humble for to be able to have the avenue where like you're heard, you're seen, you're understood, you know, and you can imagine this world that's just fake. It's not real. Somebody made it up, you know. Some guy just some person some anybody just type something up and they spend a lot of time to make something and it's there and it's real and to you it's something that you can explore, you know, in this world that's um imaginative, you know. And I think that's a cool thing about humanity. It's a cool thing about writing and being I don't know, a human. It's cool. I like it. I like being human. I like life. And I'm grateful to learn things. I'm grateful for books. I'm grateful for cool, interesting stories that maybe not necessarily mean this most important thing, but something that has I don't know, interest, meaning, life. Yes. Um, yeah. I don't know. It's a it's a cool book. I really liked it. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was so interesting learning behind the scenes, and I'm someone like an avid learner. I like to learn things, but learning how like somebody like tiptoes around and does ninja stuff, but then like is an assassin and then all this stuff. I was like, whoa, that is cool, you know. Um, and being a life coach, it kind of definitely helps to like have like social intelligence and know people. But these are like people who have social intelligence and all these other like skill sets and like to like kill people. I'm like, wow, this is insane, But it's just I don't know. Yeah, and it's like he's such a powerful figure for Alex Rider in the books. It's just this is the villain. This is why it's a well told story of the big bad villain for the series that I liked, and that's why I cared about it. Because it kind of came out of nowhere, and it was a prequel, but it was just so good. And Anthony Horowitz, um, special thank you. Just thank you for doing whatever you wanted to do anyways and tell your story. Because you definitely impacted me, Wesley. Thank you. Um, anyways, Alex Rider series, go check it out. Go check out the show on Amazon. Um, the Gatekeeper series by Anthony Horowitz, fantastic. Um, Also vampires, not related, but vampires I like too. The Hunger Games, Harry Potter, all of them. Just A list. YA till I die. YA is always going to have interest because they always have imagination and creativity and discovery, and not always like this serious, boring James Patterson type stuff. There's fun and I don't know, not adult responsibilities all the time. Nobody needs all that. Anyways, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, subscribe if you would be so kind, or if you want to, don't subscribe if you don't want to. Do what's comfortable for you. But if you can, subscribe. Thank you. I'm Whistly. I am alive. I exist. Try to stay positive, challenge yourself, and live life to the fullest. Thank you. Yeah. Live life.